There's always a lot to do, even when you're living in the countryside, in a country house. Not a farm, but just a country house. I got to do a lot of work this weekend. I was just kind of yanking the weeds. And this is kind of like a weed. It's called Ojo de Tigre, Eye of the Tiger. Kind of weed or vine. And there goes a bee pollinating the flower. Just went into it. It's going to come out in a moment. There you go. Wow. Capturing that on camera is not commonplace. Okay, the bee was part of the thing. So anyhow, I had problems with this GoPro. It was not the GoPro, it was the SD card going into the little adapter and then into the laptop. And then when I would watch the videos, before I would upload them, try to upload them, I would notice that there were problems with the video quality. And even the audio, the video was like messed up, not clear, and then it would kind of like, I don't know, just mess up. And I made a lot of footage in the last couple of days and I kept on erasing. I went to town, I had some good topics, and I erased all of that without remembering that I could use the GoPro Quick app on the phone, on the smartphone, to just transfer the files onto the GoPro Quick app and then to my phone, and then just upload from there and skip the whole computer thing, the laptop. So, hey Lalita, hey baby girl. So anyway, the one topic that I do remember clearly is I was talking about how I grew up in South Carolina. I was born in the U.S. and how I loved growing up down there in South Carolina, USA. I really enjoyed it. It was semi-rural area. It's in the Greater Greenville area. And it was nice. I wasn't living in Greenville in downtown or nowhere near it in terms of a mile away or two. It was more like 5 miles away, out by the White Horse Manor Road and by Berea Elementary School, Monteview Elementary School. That's where we lived usually, either White Horse Manor Road and the other thing. And we also lived in Easley, another little small town. It was great. It was awesome. It was fantastic. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it all. And, you know, I had settings similar to this. We lived in an ungated apartment community or residential community. Ungated apartments. They were like called townhouses because they would have a first floor and a second floor. That was it. And there was just a row of them. One row of one little block, whatever it is. And then another one perpendicular to it. And then another one parallel to the first one. And then another one would continue going down the road and on the other side too. And it was nice. And there was a community swimming pool for the apartment complex, the villa, and in a clubhouse. And once in a blue moon, one would have a gym. And I remember they would have vending machines, like a soda pop vending machine and a snack vending machine. And you know, go to the swimming pool in the summertime and all that, and have fun. Enjoy it with mom. And we had these surroundings, the forest that we would go, my brother and I, Dennis, my little brother Dennis, and we would go and play, mess around, and with our friends into the woods, just kind of like you see here, but very wooded areas. Go down to a lake that was nearby, like about a mile away, walking. And we would do that on the weekend, my brother and some friends and I, and we would do the whole Huckleberry Finn kind of like little adventures in Tom Sawyer. It was good. It was nice. But we were nowhere near the Mississippi River. And it was fun. It was cool. And we would sometimes find a little shed similar to this and an outhouse as well. An outhouse was a toilet outside of the house. Outhouse. And it was cool. Enjoyed it a lot. Very different from the city life that I experienced in New York as a teenager. And it was nice with the friends, going to school, our schools, public schools, going to the mall on the weekends, to the roller skating rink. Skateland USA was the name of one. Mom would take us there. It was nice. It was cool. Skateland USA. And remember eating hot dogs, pizzas, corn dogs, going down to the Motor Speedway, right there by the highway. I forgot what highway. It was basically bordering Easley. I think it was in Easley, South Carolina. And they would have the county fairs there, state fair sometimes, and the NASCAR racing, demolition derbies. And we got to see all of that when we were kids until I was just about 12. I was 11 years old, 3 months shy of my 12th birthday before we moved to New York City. But we enjoyed it. One of my best friends, and I remember his name to this very day, Robbie. His name was Robert Hill, Hill. But he passed away when we were in Colombia on vacation back in 1983. Well, we were here for a little bit more than a vacation, but that's a story for another day. And it seems he got shot by a BB gun in the woods by some other older kid, and they left him out there to bleed. I don't know, maybe they beat him up and they shot him with a BB gun. I don't know, never got the full story. That was what I heard from my mom, who heard from a neighbor when we got back to South Carolina, and that was it. But there was no more clarity to it, but that he had died. He was a good friend, Robbie. We used to mess around, play around. Remember, we go to his home where he lived with his dad and older sister that was like 18 years old. And remember, she was pretty, and I had a crush on her. I don't remember her name. And it was good. And going to the Hardee's. Hardee's is where they sold roast beef sandwiches and burgers, I think, as well. Hardee's. It was a southern thing. I don't know if it was from somewhere else, but it was a southern thing for us. And with the playground, going to the Greenville Mall or to the Haywood Square Mall, and going to the arcade. I loved going to the arcade. That was the first place I headed to. I was like, Mom, bye. My little brother sometimes would come with me, or he would stick with Mom, because I loved playing video games. Space Invaders, Galaga, Donkey Kong, Dig Dug, Dragon Slayer. We used to go to Showbiz Pizza Place. We used to go to Chuck E. Cheese. They were the competition for each other. Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese. Chuck E. Cheese I saw in Long Island. I saw it in Atlanta, somewhere in Georgia. But I never saw a Showbiz Pizza Place outside of Greenville. Maybe there were more. I don't know. You guys tell me if you know about that back in the early 80s. Showbiz Pizza Place. And it was a good place for kids to go with their families. And they have the whole restaurant thing, the whole little bandstand where the make-believe puppets were playing music like rock and roll or whatever, and we're just sitting there eating and watching them, and then go play video games or play skee ball, trying to get more tickets to win some prizes. You know, it's all a gimmick. We're kids. We're asking our parents for more money, more quarters. Mom, can you give me a $10 quarter roll? You know, $10 in the quarter roll. So a bunch of quarters in there, 25 cents. It was nice. That's why I love living in the countryside now, because I had that upbringing. My brother, he had the upbringing too, but he prefers the city. He likes city life. But nowadays, he living out in Jersey and not in the city, but in a small city. He likes that kind of life better now, more, you know, quietness, more tranquility in general. So yeah, South Carolina was great. I love my South Carolina days. Let's leave this video just about South Carolina days. Going out to Table Rock Mountain, going down to Myrtle Beach in the summer, driving about a 3-hour drive from the Greater Greenville area down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I don't remember ever going to Hilton Head when we were kids, but maybe we did. I went to Hilton Head as an adult when I was in Georgia as a college student. Went there twice in South Carolina.